Hello you lovely lot. I realised I hadn't done an empties for ages. And I always say this when I do an empties, but when I look at the frequency with which most people do empties, it shocks me how much they consume. It takes me a long time to collect these empties, but here they are. The normal Glossier bag that I've now purloined to use as my empties bag. And where do we start? Should we start with skincare? I know you love skincare most of all. Let's start with, oh, a cleanser. Do you know what? I forgot what I've got in here. This is really interesting. Right, let's start with Beauty Pie Japan Fusion Cleanser. I love, 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 love this. And I know I have got a code. Nadine sent me, basically you get a £50 boosted spend. They don't pay me to create this content, but you will get, as a loyal follower of me, a £50 boosted spend. If you've never gone onto Beauty Pie, you need to get yourself acquainted. It's such an incredible brand now, and I did a live with Marcia Kilgore, who's the founder, over on Instagram, where we chatted about the whole idea of cutting out the middleman, so cutting out the retailer, cutting out the importer, and then basically just going directly to the labs and the factories and sourcing the best products. This is a really lovely hydrating gel rinse off cleanser. I really love this product, and I used this all of last summer and all of last autumn, and it's been sitting there waiting for me to get more products in. The Japan Fusion range is really lovely. The triple hyaluronic acid is really lovely, but this is my favourite cleanser of theirs. It's a beautiful, slightly more sophisticated CeraVe hydrating gel cleanser. It's really reasonably priced. Obviously, if you're a member of Beauty Pie, go check it out. When I drop in these pictures of these products, I was like, this is obviously all beaten up and empty, and I'm surprised it isn't cut in two, to be perfectly frank, because I am that stingy when it comes to products. I want to use them till the very last drop. Let's have a look what I've got in here. I finally said goodbye to my American Sunday Riley Good Genes Lactic Acid, and it's the lactic acid one, and I do prefer the lactic acid one. I'm sorry. Glycolic's just not necessarily the acid of choice for my skin. I prefer a much more gentle lactic acid. This is a powerful lactic acid. Lactic acid is a larger alpha hydroxy acid. It's a larger molecule, sits on the surface of the skin and then slowly penetrates over time. I used to sleep in this once or twice a week. It's still my primary acid of choice. I absolutely love it. This formula is all kinds of wondrousness. Sadly, we can't get it in the UK, but the government sort of leaked today that there's going to be an air corridor between the UK and the US starting in June. That should be on my shopping list, along with Paula's Choice BHA body spray, if anybody wants me to pick one up, because I've just found out that in 2018, I wrote a note today, 2018 or 2019, and even though we're no longer part of the EU, they brought in a piece of legislation that said that you can only limit body products to a 0.5% of salicylic acid because they go over a larger percentage of your body, so you won't be able to get the 2% body sprays over here. If you're in the States, you're lucky. If you're travelling to the States, stick it on your list, along with the lactic acid from Sunday Riley. What else have we got here? I've got another cleanser here. This is the Allies of Skin Molecular Silk Amino Hydrating Cleanser. Again, a lovely, beautiful, gentle rinse-off gel cleanser for morning or evening or second cleanse in the evening. Really nice, quite expensive, but I do have a 20% off, although I think generally they have across Allies of Skin and the sister brand, which is PSA, which stands for Public Service Announcement. It obviously doesn't stand for Public Service Announcement. Again, last year I did a live IGTV with the founder talking about the principles behind it. I really love this product. Overlook the sort of slightly clean messaging. Obviously it doesn't mean anything. This is a really nice, gentle, hydrating gel cleanser. Men, women, teenagers, everybody. It's a great cleanser. Let's have a look what else I go through. Well, you'll not be surprised to see that there's an empty of this in here, is there? How many times have I mentioned this? This is La Roche Posay Dermalurgo. It was the hyaluronic acid stroke first step skincare for me for most of last year, and I found it particularly good when I was going through sort of skin changes, maskne, perioral dermatitis, that sort of stuff. It has a peptide in it, a dipeptide in, which is proven to calm the skin and to reduce inflammatory markers within the skin, and I just love it. So basically I just popped out my hyaluronic acid and I popped that in, and that's exactly what it is. So it's basically a calming, soothing first step serum. Pap, pap, pap. What else have I got in here? Oh, I was sad to see the last of this go. Do you remember well over a year ago now, before lockdown, I filmed with Paul Jones and he introduced me to this. We were laughing about how this is essentially, looks like a sex toy. It's not, it's Bedhead Tiggy After Party. So it's the TIGI, which is part of the Tony and Guy group. It's their sort of fun, funky range. And this is a really, normally I would look at this and go, oh, it's not for me, obviously. Can't believe I just did that. Normally it's not for me. It's a young, funky range. It's a really beautiful leave-in blow-dry cream for taming ends, for taming split bits, for taming flyaways. Perfect for fine hair that has a floofy tendency like mine. I really love it. You can put it onto slightly damp hair and blow dry it in and then use it afterwards and just go back in and get those sort of chunky ends. PSA, public service announcement. If you notice me playing with my fringe a lot, you know that you followed me for a long time. I've been going through a journey with my hair. And I have finally completely grown out all of the back of my hair. Look, this is one length, healthy, no damage, no chemical straightening hair. That's my hair now. And then what happened was I got a new colourist, no fault of her own. I mean, literally no fault on hers at all. I can't take high lift tint in my hair. And she didn't like the way I'd taken my roots really dark through lockdown, because obviously we couldn't get into salons. So she went in and did a tiny bit of balayage through the top and through the fringe, and all my fringe broke off. I literally cannot, my hair cannot take any amount of harsh chemicals anymore. I think it's partly getting older, it's partly the fact that it's gone grey, it's partly the fact that front is obviously really heavily straightened. I don't have a straightening treatment anymore now, so it takes a lot more heat. It took me a while to realise what was happening. It really did take a while for me to work out that basically 2/3 of my fringe is now missing. It's all broken off. It's under there. There it is, look. Those bits there are essentially, that's the sort of virgin hair where I've just coloured it myself. I had it coloured in the salon and I had a little bit of high lift tint put through it in July, just after my birthday, and then again in October. And obviously that second treatment was enough. And it just started snapping off. I started noticing it around Christmas, and then I got to the end of January, February, and it really hits you. I once interviewed Ian Salis, a trichologist, and this is a really interesting fact. He said research shows that you lose 30% of your hair before you start to notice the difference. Like you're beginning to think that something's up, but you can't quite work out what it is. And 60% before you can see the difference. And that's it. 60% of my fringe is gone, broken, damaged. So I've now got totally healthy hair here, and then just the hairline there, and the fringe is Fucked majorly. I think I have to wear it like that. A la Sex and the City, Carrie Bradshaw back in the day. Anyway, loads of you are saying, stop playing with your fringe. That's why. I'm so conscious that it's really badly broken. So let's look at what I've been using on it. You'll not be surprised to hear that I'm back on the Olaplex majorly moisturising sort of conditioner stroke. I use that as an extra treatment, as a sort of moisturiser, kind of leave it in for 10 minutes, rinse it out, and then I use the 6, which is the blow dry cream, to blow dry with. You know how this works, right? This repairs the sulfur bonds in your hair, although technically the steps 0, 1 and 2 are the ones that we should be going for. But I actually do like this as a sort of extra once a week mask. And then the 6 and the 7, which I think is the cream and the oil, are amazing. Really, really lovely. Or is it 6 and 5? I'll find out and I'll put the details here. I do like Olaplex and I do think it works. There's only one reason why this hair is as long and as strong and as, you know, I mean, that's proper healthy hair now grown back, and that is because I have used the best products on it, including all of the Olaplex steps. And these two. I discovered these probably about last October, and I should be completely upfront, I've worked with this brand. But trust me, they do not pay me to carry on banging on about how great their products are. This is the incredible Nexus Carafix range, and it is based around glutamic acid, which is an amino acid that's found in skin and hair, and it's also part of polyglutamic acid, which is super hydrating, so you know it's super hydrating. This is just the best shampoo and conditioner I've ever found for my hair type, which is super floofy, super fly away and damaged. It also just seems to work particularly well on blonde hair, but I just don't know, that might be just me. There's the shampoo, every last drop, you know, squeezed out. There's the conditioner. They're available from Boots. However, I think I wanged on about them so much that they've sold out in the UK. I'm sorry. There's also a mask as well, but it's the shampoo and conditioners that work for me. Really, really work for me. They smell all kinds of amazing as well. One of my followers said they absolutely hated the smell and couldn't bear to use them. But for me, they are all kinds of sexy, woody oud. I mean, they are beautiful. I think they're salted vanilla and incense. gorgeous. Seriously, if this company ever make, well, first of all, I want them to make a blow dry cream, and I've already charged them with doing that. It's so funny because I gave them the feedback, because I try everything obviously before I ever work with the brand, and I have to really love it to work with it. I tried it and I said, absolutely amazing. They said, brilliant, right, let's go, let's create some content together and you can talk about your experience with your hair and everything. Then I went, just one thing. A, they need to create some kind of candle stroke fragrance because the smell is amazing, but also they need to create a blow dry cream. I need a blow dry cream, because if they did a blow dry cream, I obviously wouldn't need the Olaplex 6. So they are some of the hair heroes that have kept me, the back of my hair, let's be honest here, it's the healthiest it's been in absolutely ages. I mean, it is thick and it's glossy and it's chunky at the ends, and it's just back to my normal hair. I mean, I kind of do miss the super straight hair that I had when I used to have it chemically straightened, but I'm so traumatized by that experience I can never do it again. And I'm telling you, I will never have high lift tint highlights in my hair ever again. It was just the tiniest amount. Look, it is gone. My fringe is gone. So I just sort of tuck it back there. That's another 6 months of that growing out. You know, your hair only grows ½ an inch a month, right? So 6 months will be 3 inches, which means it'll be sort of, I'm sort of here now, it'll be down to here. And it's going to be another year before I can get my hair down to, I want my fringe one length, I want it a 1 length bob. I feel like I've been growing my hair out from trauma for most of my adult life. It's like it's being a guinea pig, guys. Anyway, and then the final thing is I finally laid rest to this. This is the greatest eyeliner shadow of all time, and it's no longer available. RIP, Bobbi Brown Black Plum. It's a really incredible dark matte browny purple colour that just looks great on navy blue eyes, great on blue eyes, great on hazel eyes, and great on really dark eyes like myself. And the reason I use it is because, and I team it with a little NARS smudge brush, is because if you put a pencil under your eye, so I sort of tight line under my eye really quickly, and it never goes on smoothly, and I can't bother to go back in. If you just dab the smudge brush into that and then go through the top back and forth, it creates a flick, but it's a sort of idiot's lazy girl flick. I love it. I'm on the hunt for dupes for that. There is supposedly was it a Morphe one that somebody told me I should go and have a look at, and I think also an Anastasia Beverly Hills one, but it's a really unique shade. It's this weird, really dark brown plum colour, and I just think it suits everybody. I can't even show you there, there's a tiny bit in the corners, but I mean, I actually used this one and then the circular one, which is so old I can't tell you. I mean, seriously, this is the packaging, and then prior to that they had circular packaging, and I still had 2 of those because I had one on the go, one in my makeup bag, which I didn't use as often, and then one in my makeup collection. So RIP, they've both gone. Moment of silence for Bobbi Brown Black Plum. I was gutted when they discontinued it. Anyway, they are my empties of the last 3 months probably. You'll not be surprised to hear that I go through probably a cleanser every 6 weeks, and then obviously a serum every 6 weeks, but I have got 2 or 3 serums on the go at once, but that helped me through all of my perioral dermatitis. Sad to say that that has been squeezed to within an inch of its life. That's the Sunday Riley. And then the rest of them are hair products, because I do go through hair products much more quickly than I go through everything else. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Have you tried any of these? What's your verdict? Let me know in the comments below.